Last, but certainly not least, we have Vivariia. Vivariia is a 6-member terrarium-themed Kaigai idol group based in Illinois and Indiana. They're a group that aims to promote personal growth while still staying true to yourself. Today we have Nova, Frogger, and the producer Bugs on the line. Hi Vivariia, welcome to the show. To start things off, it's Butterfly Idol Nova. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Nova. I am the leader and the butterfly idol of the Kaigai idol group Vivariia. I have been doing idol activities for the past 8 to 9 years, as first a cosplay idol and now a Kaigai idol. I've been wanting to do stuff like this since I was a little kid, so the fact of me actually being able to do what I'm doing now makes me very happy.
It's lovely to have you here. So, thinking back to your debut, what do you remember as some of the big dreams you first had? Have you met some of those big dreams?
So way back when I was around 11 or 12 years old, I met my wonderful Melody. Melody and I have had the dreams to share our art and our music with the world. Neither of us were actually able to make music at the time, but now since we have connections, I guess you could say, a friend of mine who's willing to do that for us, which you will hear later. And now we get to perform and have the time of our lives doing it, even though it can be really, really stressful at times. Not only were we able to achieve our own dreams, but we were able to help everybody else in Vivariia achieve the same one.
We want to know what it's like being a self-managed idol group. What's your structure like? What tools do you use to stay organized? And how have things changed being self-managed over the years?
Each of our idols actually have their own specialties. I usually do all the managing, Fraga does all the costuming and the business work. Melody has our songwriting and being able to make some of the artwork for us. Noelle Evergreen is our head choreographer and usually leads our practices like our stretches, warm-ups, blah blah blah. Indigo has been our co-lyricist and all-rounder, and Dahlia has been our story writer and has also been mediating us. Using all of our specialties, we are able to run smoothly, and we have a process for how we do everything. It makes it a lot easier for us to manage ourselves that way.
Thank you for sharing, Nova. Let's pass a few questions to Snail Idol Fraga. We hear you're the sewist for Vivariia's costumes. Tell us about that, like your personal journey as a sewist and some tips and tricks you have for idol costume makers.
Hello, I'm Fraga Saliagos, the Snail Idol and costume director of Vivariia, and I'm here to explain my costume creation process for you. I first learned how to sew when I was about 5 or 6. My grandmother on my mom's side taught me how to thread a needle and do a basic hand stitch, and from there on up until fashion school, I was basically self-taught. Some of the equipment I use is my basic Bernina sewing machine, my embroidery machine that's over there, I have a serger that typically is over there, and then I also have a 3D printer on the other side of my basement. My embroidery machine has helped me a lot, add a lot of details to outfits. I love hiding our symbols in our outfits, so it's allowed me to do stuff like this. It's also helped with certain details that need a finishing stitch, like a satin stitch. I'm able to recreate that on the embroidery machine and then cut it out after, and that actually saved me a lot of time. One big thing I'd advise people who want to start getting into sewing their own outfits or outfits for others learn how to do is a basic slash and spread pattern drafting. You start off with a block that has typically either one dart up to the bust, or it can be 2 darts, and you're able to manipulate where that dart is around and add a seam or make it a dart, and you're able to change where the placement of certain stuff is on the outfit more than you would be with a ready-made pattern. For my materials, I mainly get them online through retailers such as Mood Fabrics and Kiki Textiles. Besides that, I look at sellers on Etsy and generally first order either like a swatch or half a yard and see if I like the quality of the fabric, and then from there, if I do, I will continue ordering the fabric for the costumes from those sellers. The costume that I spent the longest on was my solo outfit for Pure Love Terrarium. I actually made it for my bridal alteration class for school, so I was able to make it and get school credit for it. It took me about a month and a half from pattern drafting to the final fashion fabric. It took me around that time because I did have to make some adjustments from the initial pattern and have to do about 2 muslin mock-ups to make sure it was right, and then I did have to add all of the lace embellishments, so that took quite a bit of time. The outfit that I am the most proudest of is the first idol outfit I ever made. It features a heavily, completely beaded center front with the pattern of a snail shell on it, and then it has a trim on the bottom of flowers and hearts that I made with an embroidery machine. I did make it for my embellishments class, and I am very, very proud of it with how long I spent doing the beading. What I keep in my convention bag is a thread, needle, and a bunch of safety pins. One big advice I give to people who especially want to make idol outfits is think about how the design will move with the body. You aren't able to make such rigid stuff as you would with regular cosplays for idols because of how much they have to move. And for example, when you dance or jump, your skirt is going to move with it. It's going to probably flip up a little bit. I like to add typically an accent lining that, in my opinion, will make the set look complete if it's one thing that everyone has together. Or you can also use that accent lining to add individuality for the member. But overall, focus on how the outfit is going to move with the person dancing in it. Even if they're just walking around, you move more typically as an idol than you would normally. Thank you.
Very cool. We also want to hear about Vivaria's original music production. Producer Bugs, take it away. Tell us about your behind-the-scenes roles in Vivariia.
Our producer is more of an anonymous guy, so I will be speaking on his behalf. So some of his specialties while producing is using a unique and catchy melody, preferably with a more energetic and electronic focus. Usually he doesn't collaborate with other artists because it's just a hobby for him. Bugs is self-taught and has been working on his skills for almost a decade. He mainly uses a MIDI keyboard to help him make the melodies, and one of the major pieces of advice that he'd ever give a beginning musician is to never stop.
Everyone, give it up for Vivariia. Thank you so much to Fraga, Nova, and producer Bugs for taking time to meet us today and telling us their story. We're looking forward to your future endeavors. That's all the time we have today, unfortunately. Be sure to give these fantastic idols a follow to keep up with their idol activities. Now, it's time to get back to the show. This has been Idol Interviews.